How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I am your host, FaZe Crypto. We are watching on the edge of our seats as Bitcoin is smashed through key resistance levels at $10,000. And really, the question on everybody's lips right now is, can Bitcoin maintain the $10,000 level? We saw yesterday it was flirting with the idea of even reaching as high as and maintaining 10,200. And of course, not all wishes can be granted right away, but still, we haven't dropped down below the 10K for too long just yet. And currently, I just wanted to take this opportunity to discuss some altcoins due to the fact that now that we've seen a lot of different interesting things happening in the cryptocurrency space, including Bitcoin to rival gold as a store of value in the digital age, thanks to having sort of articles like these that I'd like to play with. And of course, I want to talk about Cardano's recent updates that we've been seeing. Cardano news today. Now, is it the time to buy Cardano? According to crypto traders, they'd answer in the affirmative. We've got a bunch of different things to talk about. We're going to start with, Charles Hodgkinson having a good time with Justin Sun at a Satoshi Roundtable, which was pretty funny. Of course, Justin Sun currently in some hot water, as always, when it comes to Tron, but that's not the subject of today's video. Moments ago, Justin Sun and the CEO of Tron shared, the smiley moment with Charles Hodgkinson. The Tron CEO shared this, tweet, basically, just having a good time. It is interesting to see these the legends of our time, the altcoin, the faces behind the altcoins, having a fun time together, and I think it's a positive note to start the video on. But Shelly, incentivized testnet stake pools hit milestone. Getting right down to it, Cardano's Shelly incentivized testnet has recently hit a milestone in terms of stake pool registrations and active pools. The communications director at Cardano, Tim Harrison, said Cardano community members are awaiting the integration of Shelly testnet into mainnet toward the full decentralization of Cardano network. And I love to bring this topic up when it comes to Cardano. We want to talk about true decentralization because I really understand that one of the main selling points of Bitcoin for people who really are just getting introduced to it are explained around Bitcoin as decentralized. And I don't think that there's enough education out there about the real potential for the threats that exist when it comes to decentralization. And I would say that Cardano and very much crypto is created with true decentralization in mind are going to be the actual leaders of the upcoming crypto paradigm shift that we're watching happening right now. Stock market showing signs of a bubble as Bitcoin safe haven investments are receiving some interesting bullish perspective. But I also want people to take this all with a grain of salt. I mean, we see Bitcoin breaking the $10,000 resistance quite often. I think right now it's gaining a lot more of celebration just simply due to the fact that it's on a lot of the hype that we're seeing revolving around the halving. Also, I believe Warren Buffett referred to Bitcoin as a store of fear, as sort of digital fear. And I'm not really quoting him correctly. I'm not even sure if it was Warren Buffett who said it, if anybody actually knows the direct quote and who said it, but it was a really interesting thing, and I think you understand the general sentiment of it. When there's fear, people are looking for safe haven assets, and I would say instead of referring to Bitcoin as digital gold, it is interesting to look at it in terms of, we do see fear, uncertainty, and doubt are sort of at a peak. Well, they're mooning. We do see with the WW3 hype that's now worn off and almost completely been delegated to the dust bowl of internet history. People are not talking about the WW3 as much as they were back in January, but at the same time, the coronavirus is, I think, just as much basically fitting the bill as far as getting people all up in arms and afraid, which I think does lend itself into Bitcoin. I think when the corona news sort of gets old, I think that we will see Bitcoin and the attention that goes into cryptocurrency receding. Now, of course, barring the actual pandemic, which could cause cryptocurrency to moon. Let's face it. I mean, it is still an interesting perspective to come out with, but I would say that $10,000, it seems fickle. I don't imagine Bitcoin maintaining at $10,000 at this specific time. Now, I know that's not an unpopular, I mean, it's not a necessarily unpopular or a popular perspective to give out there depending on who you're talking to, but I just wanted to give you guys my initial, I mean, I'm still a hodler through and through because I believe in the technology, and I would say long term, there's no doubt about it in my mind that true decentralization, which is why Cardano is so interesting to me. But this article, just reading a bit from it, so last week closed with a roundabout for the stock market as traders pushed stocks harder than ever after losing nearing 4% the previous week. This week saw the S&P 500 reach new all-time highs over 3,340. Bitcoin is also performing quite well, hitting near 10K mark. Does definitely lend itself to seeing Bitcoin mass adoption, and a lot of the different attention that's going towards crypto does, I would say, do a lot to get more of the mainstream, the lamestream, to take crypto more seriously. And this article right here, I think, is important when we're talking about Cardano. Massive altcoin rally inborn after Bitcoin dominance broke a key level. So Bitcoin's 2020 rally has provided some much needed upward momentum for the crypto markets, with many altcoins putting significant distance between their recent lows and their current prices. Intrinsically, unlike previous rallies, Bitcoin and altcoins have been rising in tandem, suggesting that fresh capital is entering the market rather than investors basically moving back into the crypto area and in and out and trading, and vice versa. This may change, however, as one analyst is now noting that Bitcoin's dominance just broke beneath a critical support line, suggesting that altcoins are about to see some intense upward momentum. Currently, at the time of making this video, we have 63% Bitcoin dominance, which still is quite a bit. I mean, you got to imagine that 13% more than complete half. I mean, they are Bitcoin still. I mean, we have seen Bitcoin dominance much higher, however. So it is an interesting perspective nonetheless. XRP might be days away from a downtrend, which would be interesting as well. But on top of that, I just wanted to play a short clip right here. The Nobel Prize winner Frederick A. Hayek predicted in 1984 the only way for monetary reform. So we're just going to play a bit of this 23-second clip right here, just because I think he'll add some value to the video, and then we'll get back into the analysis.
All the more need for your sound monetary reform.
I don't believe that we should ever have a good money again before we take the thing out of the hands of government. We can't take them violently out of the hands of government. All we can do is, by some sly roundabout way, introduce something they can't stop.
All the more need.
So I always think that it's interesting to listen to old people, in particular this guy in 1984, because the more we move into the future, the more we're going to see of, let's face it, it's going to be interesting to see how the cryptocurrency space is actually going to be making a lot of different movements left and right. But I would say that the more the internet continues to grow in popularity, the more there's going to be people out there who just are really noisy with very little to say. And I think that perspective that he gave right there is very interesting, and it's an undeniable bit of wisdom that we do need to keep into our brains, especially with what we're going to be seeing happening in the next couple of months. So PwC partnership critical to commercial alignment. Cardano has been taking leaps and bounds with respect to developments on its network, from establishing many strategic partnerships at Davos 2020 to opening up new avenues in a bid to, so this right here, so in a way it's it's very interesting just to see what's happening with Cardano. I mean, I'll let you guys check out that article for yourselves. But no, all in all, remember, this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. Of course, I'm not your dad, I'm not your financial advisor. Remember to do your own research. Overall, I think though, we've covered this has been a pretty good video. We have covered some pretty interesting ideas here, and we'll see where things go from here on out. But all that being said, hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.